Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? We are going on an epic adventure today to a totally new place. It's going to be the nicest place we've ever been to film in that and make some video with this, and you guys got to check this place out. It's called a Hipcamp, and it's not a hippie campground. It is called a Hipcamp, which we just kind of discovered very recently what a Hipcamp is, and it's basically like an AIR B&B for campgrounds. And this place is private land that a guy owns. He has 20 tent sites on it, and you basically book it like an Airbnb online. So we're going to check this out. It's right on the ocean, it's right on a river. It is going to be the nicest place that we have ever probably made a video yet. So let's go see what this place is all about. It's about a 50-minute drive, about 50 miles, about 80 kilometers. We'll see you there. Wow, no disappointment here at all, guys. We just got here. Here, look at this. This is our view at the back window. Check this out. This place is remarkable. Nice little fire pit. Tide is going out. We met Paul, the host. What a wonderful, wonderful human being he is too. What a friggin' spot. He's got over 100 acres here. This has been in his family for how long did he say? 1700s? This was established in the 1700s, but it's in his family, I think, since the 1800s. Over 100 acres here. He's got over 2 miles of shore frontage. I'm going to get the drone out later and show you guys probably one of the nicest places we've ever camped here. So, and it just doesn't stop. There's 20 sites here he's developing. And again, they call it a hip camp. I'm going to put a link in the description just to show people, to help this guy out, because he's not even that busy and he has 20 sites. But this is just some of the water that's here. Everywhere you look, we're almost on a peninsula right now is where we're at, and there's like 4 sites, I think you'd call it, right down in here, where we're going to hang out for a couple days. So we're going to get stuff set up here, and it is hot out today, very, very hot. Heat wave warning, actually. To give you guys a little perspective of how much tides we have here in the province, this right out here right now is going to come in the shoreline. Probably it's going to be way into here. You're going to see water here later on, and what I'm going to do is make a video later and show. This is our vantage point right here. This is what we're looking at, and you see all that way out to there. This water is going to come way in here, way in here, way in here. I believe we have 28 feet of height in tide we get here, this part of the province. Check this out. Here we are, all set up. I've got the fridge running, actually electric cooler, running that off of the All Powers power station, and I've got the solar panel hooked to that, so we're actually winning the game right now. We're not losing any power at all because we get the power station. Cabin is all set up. And check this out, guys. This is where we're hanging out for a couple days. What a freaking place. I cannot wait to get the drone out later and fly around a bit and show you guys. And this is where we're staying for the day. Staying for a couple days, actually. Good old Ford. I even brought my e-bike along. Gonna get out on the bicycle maybe for a little bit later on. It's 32 degrees outside right now, but there's a bit of a breeze here. It's not too bad, actually. And there's my e-bike sitting in the back of the truck, my fat tire. Bicycle for a fat guy. What do you think, Cynthia?
I think it's gorgeous.
She loves it here. It's quite a spot, eh? Quite a friggin' spot. Hanging with the chicken nugget today. Hanging with the nugget. Smile for all the wonderful subscribers.
Back to the ocean.
Back to the ocean. What a spot, eh? Hanging out here, just loving it. What a day. What a freaking day. Man, I'm telling you guys, it is so freaking warm here today. It is unbelievable. 30, 31 degrees outside right now. Anyways, got dinner on the go here. Nothing fancy at all. This week we are having cheeseburgers on the little propane barbecue. So that's all we're doing. Nothing fancy for dinner. It is still so friggin' hot out here. It's crazy. I was already out on the bicycle, buzzed around for a few minutes, and felt good to be back on. It's been quite a while. Cool to watch too. The tide is actually slowly coming back in already. Low tide today was 4:45, and I think it's about 5:30 right now. High tide is like 10:45, I think, tonight. So pretty neat the way it goes in and out twice a day. Wow, well there you go. That's some char burgers. I guess they're pretty well done. That's a propane barbecue I put together at a couple old ones there. Man, this thing is so hot even on the lowest setting. It's crazy hot. Speaking of hot that I mentioned, it's like 31 degrees here right now. What a day, what a day. Nice to have you guys here. Well, there you go, man. It is friggin' hot out. Our dinner is done, and we are going to sit back here in this wonderful bench. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? We're going to have our dinner. We'll talk to you guys in a while. I'm going to get the drone out a little later when the sun's going down, and even when the tide's coming in. I'm going to try fishing here in a little bit. Maybe I'll catch some fish. Stay tuned and see what I catch. What happened, Cindy?
I squeezed.
She squeezed the water ball. It went everywhere. Whew, so anyways, it was a warm friggin' evening outside. We have it down to 22 outside and it's still 24 in the cabin here. So we're just going to kind of kick back for a little while and exist. Sounds like a good thing to do tonight. Any words of wisdom?
No, but it's gorgeous outside.
It's gorgeous outside, yeah. It's been wonderful so far and can't wait to show you guys around this place a bit tomorrow. Gonna be a good day for a good day. Well, there you go, guys. Just like that, full tide, high tide. Just like that, guys, high tide. How's that? Pretty freaking cool, eh? It is now 9:30 at night. This is the highest it will get, and you can see the water is way in down across here now. Or before, it was like way out there in the middle. It's in. It's not getting any higher. What a beautiful evening here. Check that out. What a friggin' spot. Living simply, remaining grateful. So wonderful to be here. Such a beautiful place. Wow. Well, we survived the night, no problem at all. We actually went to sleep. We actually slept last night. This is the first time, I think, first trip out camping of the year, we actually, or not first trip out, but just we actually slept. Anyways, tide is in again. And you guys think this is nice? We're gonna go for a walk, and I'm gonna show you something up here that's considerably nicer. We had a couple neighbors show up last night. They're in behind us there. This place is pretty much heavenly. And I want to help him promote it. This is all a new area that he's developing now. That's why there's wood everywhere and they're clearing it. This is basically behind us. And check this out. Going up through here. You've got to see this to believe it. Yeah, you got to see this to believe it, guys. He's going to eventually have campsites up here. And when he does, sign me up. Look at this place. This is going to be a campsite. I'm going to get my drone out a little later and fly over top and show you guys this. But again, this man has over 2 miles of frontage here. And check this out. And check out the drop-off. We're not going down there. Look at this. This is the Magaguadavic River where it starts. And this is called Passamaquoddy Bay, is what they call it here. It's already 23, 24 degrees. There's a beautiful beach right down here, a small beach we were on last night. Check it out. Passamaquoddy Bay. Bunch of islands out here. Island over there. Doesn't get any better than this, guys. Look how private you'd be. Nobody'd even know you're here if you had this campsite up here. What a piece of heaven you have here, Paul. Yeah, heading back down through. Heading back down through to where we're camping. You can see we got some neighbors behind us now. They rolled in like 10 o'clock last night. So. Car, it's kind of cool because they get a car. They have one of those SUV tents hooked to the back. And then there's another separate tent there, so I'm not going to invade their privacy much here. I'll just show you that there are some people parked behind us. And there's a girl over there too. Check that out, guys. The boat coming right down the Magaguadavic River here. How freaking cool is this? How freaking cool is this? Wow. Beautiful boat. Pretty neat, eh? Look at that. I don't know if that's a Coast Guard. It's not Coast Guard colors though. That's Fisheries and Oceans. Let's see who that is. That's a Fisheries and Oceans boat, actually. What a beautiful craft that thing is. Another freaking day in paradise, guys. What do you think of some of that drone footage? Wasn't that nuts? When you go out again, when I flew out over that way, the backside of where we're at here, you can actually see the run a little peninsula here. The whole place is, and again, I want to plug this place big time. Mouth of Magaguadavic is what they call it. There's a Facebook page for it. He's got a website. It's a fairly new establishment, and Paul, like I say, the caretaker, is a wonderful, wonderful person. It's been in his family. He was so lucky that inherited this place. And again, there's over 2 miles of frontage here to go all the way around, like of just beachfront and rugged rock coast and everything else. So quite a friggin' spot, quite a spot. Whew, apparently they said we had a heat wave coming, eh? Check this temperature out. This is inside the cabin right now, what we're sitting at. How's that? That's Fahrenheit. Top numbers outside, that's inside. 37. How's that for a nice day? What are you doing? It's 35 degrees Celsius outside. You sit in the frickin' shade. That's what we're doing. I had big plans for that bicycle today. I'm not getting on it right now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Hanging out with Chicken Nugget here, and it is 35 outside and it's 36 in the cabin now. Don't ask me how that happened, but the thing is so well insulated that once it starts to get hot, it holds the heat too. So I have a little game changer that we might have to use tonight. I brought this thing along. You guys check this out. See that white thing right there? That's a portable AC unit. And guess what? I have my power stations with me, actually 3 of them, because I'm getting quite a collection of those bad boys. One of them right now I've got sitting over here on the solar panel, because it's been running our electric cooler, and it's doing good because it's actually winning the battle. We woke up this morning at 56%. I've had it on the panel most of the day, and it's actually up like 85%. So probably by tonight, we're going to end up with that battery pack will be, the battery charge, that power station will be fully charged probably by tonight. So, but what I'm going to do with one of my other ones, because I have 2 other power stations here, and neither one will run it that long because that AC unit uses like 700 or 800 watts to run that thing. But if we can run it for 15 minutes in there later on, and it'll bring the temperature down drastically in the cabin. And it's one of those portable ones that has a big outlet hose, so all I'm going to do is open one of the portholes on the back of the cabin, and we're going to pump the heat out the back. So we're going to do that later on. Hopefully it works as good as what I think it will. You know what's really cool is check this out. Now the tide is back out again. So any of you guys saw the drone footage this morning when I was flying all around here, there was enough water here that Fisheries and Oceans boat come right along here basically and buzzed along beside us here to check stuff out, and he went right over top where you can see all the seaweed down there. So, and now it's all rocks and seaweed again. So pretty cool the way the world works with, you know, that happening twice a day. I think it's like 6.5 hours ahead, so it's about a half hour ahead each day. So if the high tide was say 5 o'clock today, tomorrow it'd be around 5:30 approximately is what the way it works. But enough rambling from now from an overheating guy and his chick friend. We'll talk to you in a bit. Well, what to do to break up the afternoon on a friggin' 34, 35 degree day? Let's do some beach combing. So that's what we're doing. We're down here at the water's edge. And we're just walking around because the tide's out. You can see when the tide is out that there's all kinds of beach here. The water will eventually be way up in there where it's brown right at the edge, about my finger right there, and this will all be covered, all this seaweed, in a few hours, but 11 o'clock again tonight, because we're sitting pretty well at the low point of tide right now out here. But we're just out looking around. It's kind of neat. These rocks are covered in barnacles. You can see, look at the barnacles stuck in that, eh? Isn't that neat? Those are all barnacles. And it's funny, barnacles, look at them all. It's funny, there's little crab shells everywhere. Clam there, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to clam dig. I was hoping we could clam dig when we were here, but I guess they're telling us that you can't this time of year. It's not the right time, so we'd end up getting sick probably if we ate them, so there's bacteria in them. I just had something squirt up my leg. There's clams in this ground here. When you walk, you'll feel them squirt. It's kind of cool. But look at what's here, just random everything down here. The seabed periwinkles. You can see all the little periwinkles here, stuck to the shells, stuck to the rocks. Pretty neat too, eh? Quite a friggin' spot. Okay, we just come over from there. Now you can see we're camped up in here. This is the main house and stuff. You guys saw in the drone footage this morning when I was flying way up high, and you can see like a bunch of little paths and all that. Well, that's the driveway and a bunch of different roads. This is one site right here on the point. There's a picnic table, or a park bench right there, and a picnic table. If it had been a little flatter, we would have stayed there for sure, but it's not really flat and would have been hard to level up the cabin on it. But he has 20 supposed sites here. A few under construction, I think, but most of them are functional. There's all kinds of places you can go, and now the tide is out and we're down here walking around amongst the seaweed. And the coolest thing is, again, you can see how far out the water goes that way. You look over this way, it's going to come right into these rocks up here. So it's got to go, and there's a lot of drop right here. This, from where we're standing, now there's probably 5 or 6, 4 feet anyway, drop just to here, and we have to go way out there to the water. So that whole sandbar you can see out there now is totally underwater. Totally underwater. Check this little guy out right here. There's hundreds of these everywhere, thousands of them. Little mini crab. Little crab body. He didn't make her for some reason. Not sure what happened to him. See how close we can get you. Show you the crab. Isn't that cool? Little crab body. We're going to head the other way now, and we're going to go out around basically the point on where we're actually set up at. So we got to walk way around here, and we can only do it on the low tide line. So I'll show you once we get to the other side of all this bluff, and we're looking up at where the mini cabin is sitting. What a day. And there's a bit of breeze down here, so it's not so unbearable now. Look how high that point is up there. That's where I was standing this morning when first thing I did a video, and I come over and I walked and I looked straight down. Way up there, that black line on the rock, that's where the tide was. This is looking straight out from where we're standing. Again, look out here. This is seaweed, and then here's the waterway down here. Just amazing, amazing how that happens. Twice a day, every day, without fail. If it stops, we're in trouble. Okay, we're getting close now to where that boat come through this morning, probably about here. We're down on the beach, walking along, and that rock is a great big flower pot thing. We're up on the other side of that. That's where the cabin is. Keep going here. Check this out from the beach. because later on there will be, the water would be way over my head right now. There's a mini cabin up in the hill. Check that out. How cool is that, eh? How cool is that? Right up there in the middle. And this, the water goes up halfway up this big rock formation here. It's actually a vegetation. There's the neighbors there. And here's all the beach. What a spot. Just beach combing a chicken nugget. That's what we're doing today, beach combing. Looking for sea glass and looking for rocks. Seaweed everywhere, barnacles everywhere. Not a lot of driftwood, but there's a little bit. And I wish I could have dug some clams, but oh well. We just come all along here. There is where we're camping, right there on the knoll. And then if you look this way down the beach, this is looking right up the Magaguadavic River. And this is almost low tide now. You guys can't see it all, but there's a house. It looks like a mansion right there at the end of this whole thing. What a beautiful, beautiful home. What a day to be alive. Well, we had our good little walk down the beach, Nugget and I, and now we are sitting up on the vantage point looking at this. Check this out. This is what we're watching. Sitting up in this hill, just looking out, watching everything out here. It's so cool, like this sandbar you guys can see coming right out. Like you could build a bunch of houses on that. Well, that'll be totally gone here in a few hours. Most of those rocks over there, most of that rock outcropping will be gone in a couple hours. So, but we can see, it looks like it might be a storm coming in, and the sun is just going under here now. It's still 32, 33 degrees. It's stupidly warm here, but at least sitting up here, there's a nice breeze. So we're not roasting like we were back at the little cabin down there. So anyways, we're gonna hang out here for a bit, and I'll talk to you guys in a while. This has to honestly be the most peaceful thing, most peaceful place I think we've ever been. We've ever had the privilege to film and make a video, because this place, I wish I could, can't even describe it. The smell, the sound, and the feel. The wind is gone right now. It's been stupidly hot all day, and right now it's starting to cool down a bit. It's still probably in the low 30s, but we're sitting here watching the tide come back in, listening to birds, watching bald eagles, osprey, loons, and just living, simply remaining grateful. Like, it doesn't get any better than this, guys. Check this out. Like, I keep showing it, but unreal. Well, we come back to the cabin for a few minutes here. We're gonna have dinner, and it's gonna be nothing fancy again tonight. It's going to be some chili. Look at that. Cindy made this at the house yesterday, day before. Wonderful, wonderful bowl of chili, because we are going to have some chili, and we're going to head back up again. Give you a vantage point of where we are here again. This is where we're hanging out. This is where the cabin is. This is where the water is over here, but we went, when you go up here over top of the hill, that's where we're just sitting. We're going back up there. We left our chairs, so we claimed it now. That's Sparky Lookout up there. Yeah, it's Friday morning. We both slept really good again last night. That was so nice. Always worried we're not going to sleep in this cabin. We slept well. Anyways, what I'm going to do, since I haven't even been on this yet since we got here, I'm going to take a quick ride up and show you guys the other area, like where you can camp and that. We're kind of been in our own little private area down here since we got here, but the main house, Villa Maria, they call it. Buddy's got an old Model A Ford car and everything else up here in the garage. So I'm going to do a quick ride up and just show you guys around the actual main part of the property. Back up to the main, I don't know what you call it here, but this is like the common area. Let's not crash this bicycle. You guys got to see some of this. Check this out in here. The old car. I don't know if that's a Model A or a Model T. Crank handle on the front, the whole shebang. This is what they call Villa Maria. Over here, this is the house. This is hard to drive one hand. I gotta be some careful on this e-bike. As soon as I move the pedals, this thing wants to go, right? I'm gonna show you guys around just a little bit more here. An absolute shame. There was a fire here just very recently, and they had to they're gutting the house, they're renovating the house. Here's another spot here, check this out. This is Villa Maria, the old house. That house was built in 1908. But check this spot out. We thought of coming here, and somebody's got their teardrop set up. This is some tricky driving with one hand, guys. These are new campsites right here he's developing, but look at this. We had thought of staying right here, but it was kind of rough to put the cabin. Just hang on a minute. Need two hands for some of this. But check this out. Beautiful little campsite right here. Beautiful little campsite. What a place to sit on that park bench. Tide's coming in. We are on the other side of that point. Around is where we actually stayed at. Doesn't get any better than this. What a friggin' spot, eh? What a spot this is. We come back here, we'll probably use this site right here. Probably use this site. This is friggin' unbelievable. We would be wise to use this. And you know what's sad? We're leaving here in a little bit, and I'm just getting on the bicycle, starting to drive around now and enjoy myself. You can also see down here that he's developing new sites, putting in fill and gravel, getting her built up. This is the driveway going out here. This is leaving his place. What a friggin' place. Nice site down there, right on the edge of the water. Another one down here. Yeah, I don't want a video showing you crashing this bicycle, so I gotta be really careful. Hard to ride one hand on this. Well, this is the site here. Paul, the owner, this is his nephew, I think he said, left a tent trailer down here. This would have been a nice spot. Like, check it out, guys. You can go right down here to the beach. Oh, there's a little trail. I need two hands again. Sorry it's so shaky. Well, unreal. How nice is this? This is all his property. And the kayaks over there on the other side. We could have been hanging out here too. Maybe we should have. We could have parked right there, he said, by that trailer. And his nephew wasn't going to be here today. We probably could have backed down, put it on the beach here, but that would have been kind of hard to get down here. There's another access right there, but that's another pad up there. This place is unbelievable. It really is. Tent trailers right there, even to be parked here. Looking at that at your back door. Tidal water coming in slowly. This place is a piece of heaven, it really is. This is even farther out his driveway towards the main road. Check this site out. This is a fairly new one he just developed, you can tell by looking at it. Nice and dry and flat. Look at the view. How's that? How's this for a site? It's actually a pull-through site. You could park anything on here the size of this. Crazy. And again, the main Villa Maria is way up over there. He has over 100 acres and he has over 2 miles of frontage like this. That island, I think, is his, and when the tide's low enough, you can walk right out to that, and we should have. That would have been cool too, to go out there. So this is basically his first site coming in. We're coming in the driveway now. And we're coming in the driveway. "100 acres of this." The old apple tree. Again, 1908, this house was built. This property was established in the 1700s. Another site down there. There's just mowed grass. What a spot. And we're down in here. This is where we are. The old Model A. And this is a garage, just a big old storage building the size of that. Beautiful. I'm not going to video going through here because it's tricky to do this with one hand. Well, there you go, guys. I gave you a tour of the place, and I'm telling you, I'm almost a little sad that it's Friday. We got to get out of here and go home to the real world, and I'm just starting to enjoy riding around my great big friggin' e-bike here that I've owned for 2 years and haven't really ridden it much. This thing is an absolute beast. The big fat tires on it and everything else. Any of that sand or loose gravel, it was hooked up and I was driving her. Anyway, we have to get this thing ready. We're going to pack everything up again and get her all back in the truck and head her back to the house, and then we're going to be over to the other cabin, the real big cabin, probably tomorrow on Saturdays. So we're going to have to water the garden over there and all that. Anyways, I hope you guys like this content, and I'm going to put a link. This is not a paid promotion. We paid for the campsite and everything else here, and almost feel like you can pay the guy more. This place is literally a piece of heaven in Charlotte County, New Brunswick. It is called Mouth of the Magaguadavic. It is, again, on Passamaquoddy Bay. It is, Magaguadavic River is right here, and it's in the area of the town of St. George. Most people know where St. George, New Brunswick is. This is only about 10 or 15 minutes outside. It's called Caithness, New Brunswick. I'm going to put a link to his website, Paul, and he's the greatest host going. His dog Milo is running all around. He comes and visits every now and then looking for a piece of a hot dog. So it was probably the best stay I've ever stayed in a campground, because it's not a campground, it's private property, but it's a campground. And anyways, from Cynthia and I, live simply, remain grateful, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.